What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access post-game show. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Joined alongside Tim live in Green Bay. We got Emilio in Tennessee here to talk about the Green Bay Packers victory over the Los Angeles Rams, 24-19. Man, what a fun game to watch. A lot of ups and downs. Me and Emilio were talking about it offline here. Boy, I don't get nervous during games. That final drive, I was already prepared to be extremely pissed off.
You were pacing. I stood up, you got to walk around the couch and, stretch the legs. It wasn't looking good there for a minute.
Really wasn't. But let's do this. Let's give a quick shout out to the good folks over at Ticket King, the official ticket provider of Packer Fan Total Access Live. Wisconsin-based since 92, specializing in Packers tickets. They are Wisconsin's largest ticket source with offices next to Lambeau and in Milwaukee. Just click on the link in the video description. That'll send you to theticketking.com where you can register for free as a customer and go ahead and start shopping for your Packers tickets. Again, that's Ticket King, the official ticket provider of Packer Fan Total Access Live. So, Tim, initial thoughts, man. I want to get your take. You don't seem very fired up, although I know you're happy to get this big dub out there in L.A.
Relieved.
How are you feeling about this one, man? Listen, good teams figure out a way to win that type of ball game. There's no two ways about it. But how you feeling about it?
You summed it up, Clayton. Relief is the feeling I have. I know you said a fun game to watch. It depends on how you define fun. I wasn't having a lot of fun there at some moments. Not to be overly negative, but it looks like we have a team that struggles starting games and finishing games, and it's both sides of the ball. But like you said, the great teams find a way to get a win, and we did. We made some huge defensive plays down the stretch when we needed to, and we converted on offense when we needed to get the points on the board we needed to win. And our kicker was lights out today, so I don't have to hear anyone complain about the kicker. So all in all, it's a pretty good day, right?
My man, he did. He looked good today, no doubt about it. So maybe the long snapper was correct, right, Emilio? We talked about that. Maybe he was taking too wide of a step, pushing it right. But
yeah,
what do you think?
Hey, I mean, long snapping. I did that in high school too. Multi-talent. I was like, you got to be able to help your teammates out when they're out there. And I'm happy. I was sitting there just praying Narv hit that one, because if not, it would have been an uproar. And we would have had probably 30, 40 super chats just in kick and talk alone they wanted. So, I thought the first one just came in.
That would have sucked. Yeah. Let's hit that real quick. We'll go to Carly. Elder Grimm with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. Defense struggled too much against the team, missing their top two receivers. They did struggle at times, but in the end, man, they pulled it out. I'm going to show you guys some footage here of, Rashawn Gary got freaking bear hugged all day long. I was ready to break stuff over here, man. Absolutely losing my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand what you're saying, Elder Grimm. You expect the defense to play a little bit better, but at the same time, they held them to 19 points. They were at home.
And I think that just looked bad in the end there, Clay, right? Like when they marched down the field the drive before and was just cutting us up, out routes, in routes, stops. It didn't look pretty. Didn't have to waste a timeout. Got right down the field. So yeah, I see that point definitely.
After a 3-and-out by our offense too, which was tough, back to back. That's when you start getting a little nervous, right? Like, oh boy.
True.
Absolutely. Shout out to Andrew Petro with the super chat. Thank you. He says, McKinney, official ball hog or hawk? Carly, I'll let you take that one. How exciting is it to watch Xavier McKinney play in this defense?
Wait, I love him. No, he is so great.
That's a new one.
I got to do it. That reminded me of the Indianapolis Colts fan. There it is. Go ahead, Carly. What do you got?
Oh, it is so great. I saw on the broadcast, they said that as of right now, Green Bay has more turnovers thus far this season than any Packer team since 1996.
Well,
is how we are doing, which is awesome. And Xavier McKinney is a huge part of that. Obviously, 5 in 5 games. Like I am all about it. I'm so glad they went and got him. It's been great to watch.
And it's so cool to think back. If you're new here, if you're first time tuning in, appreciate y'all hanging out with us in the post game. We do a show daily, 365 days a year, and we cover the entire off season. And man, when we were doing the free agent evaluation, this and that, we're like, Xavier McKinney's the guy to go get. And lo and behold, they go and get him. And And listen, it doesn't take a genius to realize Xavier McKinney's pretty good at the old football, right? Mm-hmm. But, man, it's just so cool to see that whole process take place right before our eyes. And, yeah, just really.
It seemed like a recreation, Clay. When I was watching that, just seeing him drift across, it was like just what we saw in Tennessee. Caught it right in the breadbasket and turned upfield, and then the celly with everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whole team walking.
Yeah, and to think how they won this game too, they overcame so much in this ball game.
Like, I can't wait to pull the box score. The third downs, did we convert one?
And the other thing too, like LaFleur kept digging himself in the hole with the first down passing. And it was like, Coach, and we said it on the pregame, do you run? Do you take advantage of this secondary and throw the ball over the yard? So I'm not going to sit here and play Monday morning quarterback like we didn't suggest, hey, you might want to throw the ball a little more this week. But at the same time, man, the first down passing incompletions, you're playing behind schedule the entire game. Mm-hmm. Andrew, thank you for the super chat, pal. We appreciate you. J. Cole in the chat says, no holding calls against them. Was there really no holding calls at all? Zero? Because Look at this. This is absolutely wild to me. So this one right here on the bottom was on the drive where they scored the touchdown right toward the end of the game. Okay, sorry to cover your face up there, Carl. I apologize. But with the chat there.
No worries.
Actually, let's drop it down here. All right, so this first one was on that drive, and you see the flag in the end zone. We could play it, but we don't want to get in trouble here. But you see Gary clearly getting held while Matt Stafford has the ball in his hand, right? Then on the last play of the game, right, thank God it fell incomplete. Look at this one. I mean, seriously. Have you ever seen anything like that? It looks like somebody commented, I think it was Blaine that commented on Twitter and was like, man, it looked like the Undertaker on his back. Look at that
rear naked is
like
full-fledged right there.
Straight UFC stuff.
That is exactly what Happy was looking at.
So, I try not to be the one to kind of talk about the penalties because we know there's a number of different things that forces the outcome of the game, but like he beat his guy one-on-one all day long.
Yep.
And just kept getting held. And you're taught, once you clear on that rip, once you're clear, throw your hands out if they're holding you because that's what's going to really get the officials' attention. You see he did it textbook right here. There's nothing else you can do in that situation. So absolutely wild that those didn't get called for sure.
That's crazy.
Let's see what else.
And I mean, they could have even called it on the last one. Throw it. It was an incomplete pass and let us just decline it. I'd feel better,
Right.
Get a little respect.
Yeah, that blew me away though, man. I ain't gonna lie. It was. I usually don't get that upset with individual calls because there's a number of different things that determines the outcome of the game, and we got all the specific stats and everything. But God, that was frustrating, man. Just watching a train slowly collide with you, and you can't do a thing about it because the refs are just looking away from the intentional holds.
Right.
Just unbelievable. Robert in the chat says Cooper was awesome. Tim, Edger and Cooper today, man. When they ran that double stunt, and I kind of put out there, it was an E/T stunt.
Scrape, right? With a scrape. Yeah.
So they halfly dialed up a play where the edge and the tackle on the play side crashed inside. That tackle looped, and then he brung Edger and Cooper on a double loop scrape. Unbelievable play call. And Cooper so fast, dude. So fast making the tackle. But I thought Cooper was great. Tim, what do you think about Cooper's performance today, man?
Yeah, hey, I can't wait to get the snap counts, right? Like we said, he seemed to be out there a lot earlier in the game they were working him in, and dude is shot out of a cannon after every snap, man. He's just so fast. I think him and Inigbare are two of our fastest guys off the snap, man. And but Cooper played well today, and you're seeing him build on the progress of the previous games. He's getting better every week and really grasping this defense, and it's fun to watch, man. It really is.
No doubt. Let's go to J Love, QB1 at the podium. Tim, if you'll hit me with a screenshot here, big dog, if you can.
Big brother Tupac LaFleur. Let's go.
Here's QB1 at the podium.
Execution early on and leading up to that pick. And we know what type of team we are. We know what we have to do to be able to go win games, and it's execute at a high level. And, it's just focusing on getting that completion, focusing on taking it one play at a time. And then guys are making plays out there once they got the ball in their hands. So, obviously, like I said, the pick, I mean, it was a bad decision, and it's tough. And it's all about how you respond and bounce back.
What should you, looking back, I don't know if you got a chance to rewatch it. What should you do there?
On the interception? It's one of those plays. I'm trying to get rid of the ball. And
You did,
I was
sir.
falling, and I didn't really have balance, and I was trying to get it out of bounds, and it's tough. I'm falling. I don't have enough power, but I mean, honestly, just throw it at the ground. Like, don't put any air on that ball. Throw it up, and even because I couldn't see where anybody was at, so just throwing it at the ground and not giving any possibility for a bad play to happen in that situation.
So if you did that, you might get
Yeah, like I said, try and get it past the line of scrimmage. You know what I mean? But just not put it in harm's way. You know what I mean? Not trying to make a bad play worse. But looking back on the safety, it's definitely better than a pick six. So
Jordan, play action was such a big
That's
part
true.
of your success last year, and you guys had a lot of gun today, last week as well. How much of that is where your knee is, and how much of that is just natural evolution of this offense?
wait, sorry, say that again.
Just the use of under center play action. Like, you guys were a lot of gun. We're used to seeing you work a little bit more under center in the run game and in the play action.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think last week was a little bit more dealing with the knee coming back, being under center, not as much. But I think, like you said, that's a huge part of our offense, and I mean, it's all game plan and basing, marrying our plays up off each other and some of the looks. So, there's definitely a lot more plays we have out there that we didn't dial up today. But that's under center play action is a huge part of our offense, and we'll keep getting back to that and keep getting that rolling.
All right, so that was QB1 at the podium. Love that he took accountability for the interception. I love what he mentioned there, too, that, hey, look, I'm just trying to get rid of the freaking ball, throw it out of bounds. Obviously didn't put enough mustard on it. You can't do that. There's no excuse for it. But I love that he's not too high right now, too. You guys notice that? Like, he's not like, man, big win. Like, you can just tell he's so even keeled. Even when you pull out that win there at the end. I'm excited for J-Lo to be the starting QB for a long time. Here in Green Bay, and Amelia, I'm going to get your take. I want to pull this up and then get your take on J-Lo's performance. So check this out. Someone had tweeted out, Jordan, this was early in the game. Keep in mind, this was early, okay? Jordan Love, since the pick six, 7 for 7, 141 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I did the old Brett Favre DX sign. You guys can figure it out. I put Jordan Love equals Gunslinger 2.0. Jordan, Amelia, we talked about this, bro. Like, he is definitely closer to Brett Favre than he is Aaron Rodgers, and he is really close.
You saw it. You literally saw it today on the first career pick six. He just flung it up there. I mean, you
think God never farted?
Exactly. He, probably shouldn't have done that. Should have taken the safety, let the defense play. But what was huge was that 7 or 7 right after, marched him right down the field and got Narv to get that 3 points, which he needed. So it all ended up working out. And like you said, he stays cool, even keeled. And it's not like he's getting, too high. He knows that, hey, this was a good team win. I made a lot of mistakes, things I want back, different calls, things like that. But super happy with how he played and, happy with the way the team performed, honestly.
Yeah, no doubt. And then we'll get to talking about Tucker Kraft here in a minute. Tim, what's your take on Jordan Love as we pull up the stats here? He was 15 of 26, 224 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, got sacked twice, lost 27 yards there. Also the run there for the first down. His rushing stats are going to show 3 carries for 10 yards, but he did have 1 carry for 13, I think it was, for the first down.
So big.
That was absolutely huge. Tim, the knee looked just fine today, did
I was going to say that play was huge on 2 levels, right? Good for us in the game, momentum, finally converted a 3rd down. Holy crap. It took forever for that to happen. But like to see him get abused like that at the end of that play and land right on that knee and then just get back up, no problems. I mean, he's got to be close to 100%, man. He didn't look phased at all. And speaking of being unfazed, making that pick 6 there in the end zone, that was the 2nd worst throw of his career. The worst being the one he threw in the San Francisco game to end our season last year. So, and like both of those throws, he didn't get rattled, learned from it, moved forward. It's one thing you have to respect about Jordan's game is that you're not going to rattle him. He's going to make a mistake. The teammate, we were down to 28, 26 points, something like that to Minnesota last week.
28-0.
28-0, and we lost that game by 2 points because Jordan Love refused to, let his first quarter define the next 3 quarters of the game. So
exactly,
that's a trait you look for, and it's really rare with young players. Younger players are usually the ones that get in their head right away and start to second guess themselves when they struggle. Jordan's had some struggles this year, and he's played through them. And today we came out with the dub, and I think a lot of it is to having a short memory when you make a mistake like that. He's going to know. He's going to be in the film room tomorrow. He's going to see that a few times and know what went wrong. So it's good in the moment, in the heat of battle, to have a quarterback that just refuses to quit.
I like what Judah Tom says here. He didn't know he was 100% until that 3rd and 10 run. Like, that's when you find out, right? So.
My knee.
Love it. Prince in the chat said, feeling good about Cooper and Williams today. Rookies getting valuable experience, man.
Here's some guys.
Thank you, Tim, because they love Cooper on that scrape. They used it like 3 times. They called it. Hafley called it at the end of the game when we needed a pressure. He called it when we needed that. It was a 3rd down stop where he got the sack. I mean, unbelievable. And it looked like almost a wall. It was what did you say? ETT walling it down, and then the big scrape.
Yeah.
How about, speaking of rookies, how about our boy Javon Bullard? A couple of huge mollywhopper tackles today, putting a hurting on some guys there in LA. I love to see it.
Yep.
You know what? Let's take a quick look at that sack, actually, according to Next Gen Stats. So you can see the pre-snap alignment here, and I'll try to just walk it through. So you're showing a 5-man front. Remember our 34 jam last year? The only difference here, you got a 5-man front, very similar to a 34 jam, except for these, number 91 Preston Smith and Kenny Clark are a little wider than you would be in your jam. You typically cover up the guards, right? And obviously, Edgerrin Cooper a little lighter in the britches than a TJ Slayton playing nose there. And I love that they put Rashawn Gary on the opposite side as well. So when we talk about and again, I'm going to try to explain what I mean. An ET stunt is when the edge crashes in and the tackle loops out, right? Well, on this specific play, you actually had LVN is going to crash in like an ET stunt, but Kenny crashes in too. So you got kind of a double stunt going on. Mm-hmm. And 56 loops off of him, if I remember correctly. That's how the play played. So let's watch it here, and you'll kind of see the scrape. Let's walk it through here. So you see they both crash in, and that allows the scrape on the outside. I mean, they basically showing that pressure off the left. They forced Stafford to just roll right, and when he did, there's Cooper Wade. Look how he closes, guys. I would love.
You're telling me who would you pick to be one-on-one with Matt Stafford? From our defense, if you had him on a spy, it would probably be Coop. Speed,
absolutely.
Closing ability.
Cooper is. There's no doubt in my mind. Cooper is faster on the football field than Quay, and Quay is fast. I mean, really fast. But you'll notice the set here. I'm trying to see what the defense is. So this is cover one. This is cover one man, isn't it? Yeah, cover one man. So it's cover one man, and they end up firing the 5. And like I said, it was a double stunt there as those guys completely crashed over. But, yeah, Cooper, we said he needed to get more snaps. I feel like he got more snaps today, Tim. Do you agree or no?
I do. I don't know how many more. We were hoping in pregame maybe north of 25. I'm thinking he's probably going to come in right around there probably.
Yeah, I would think so. And they had Bull playing the slot all game, with Nixon.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, Bull was in the slot because Evan. Yeah, I honestly think Evan had a lot of snaps. I almost think he was out there for almost every defensive snap. So say you got Evan and McKinney at free and strong, or both up there as safety, and then they had Bull playing the slot because Keyshawn was outside.
And that might be because Ja wasn't available. We had Valentine out there. Stokes looked really good and then looked horrible today. He was kind of shaky in some of those sets, but that could be just because of the absence of Ja. They move things around. I thought Keyshawn held his own on the boundary. He didn't get blown up too many times, so it's good to see.
Here's the Carl Brooks sack. So they put Carl Brooks all the way outside wide 9. Remember in college we talked about this? At Bowling Green playing out there on the edge in the wide 9 looks, even with the big body that he is. So let's see. That's just a straight up rush. Actually, they're going to scrape. So watch Kenny sacrifice himself again. Double team.
Yep.
Look at Rashawn is crashing in. They're doing an ET stunt on that side, so LVN can hit home. So if Stafford does decide to bail out left, LVN's just licking his chops. And, of course, like we said, Carl Brooks just comes in and gets the sack, and they actually fire both backers on that, guys. Check that out. So what's the call? Cover 1 again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cover 1. And, that's pretty sweet, man. They disguise it with a little too high shell, which is awesome. So
which is huge that he has the confidence in Bull to play man and Evan to come over with X playing free. I love X. He should have that second pick too. I mean, honestly, that was
look,
beautiful.
Shout out to Keyshawn too. Watch Keyshawn here. This is not easy. It's what you call a switch release, and they do it with cheat motion. 5 is Atwell. He's their cheat guy. He plays their F position. He's going to cheat over, and he's going to switch. So he's going to start technically on the right side of 15 and then go cross. They're going to cross pass. It's kind of a double switch. They switch at the line, and then they switch later in the route. But watch Keyshawn just nonchalantly. He's playing bump on 15. As soon as they do the cheat, watch him pick this up. Bang, right? Now, listen, he gets cooked with the speed, but it doesn't matter because you fired everybody and Stafford couldn't throw into that. That's that pressure pick coverage sack we talk about, right? Yeah. I mean, that really is that Stafford had no time to get rid of that football.
Great job by Stokes there, 21, not running into Keyshawn, understanding what's going on in the heat of the moment there and just sticking with the guy closest to you.
Look at Carrington, too. So this is kind of a double switch here. Look at Carrington just going to kind of good coverage there for about 24, according to the GPS tracking at Next Gen Stat.
Yeah, and 33 there. Evan Williams coming up to pick up that other receiver there.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Carl, you got anything to add to that?
Well, I actually have to go help get the kids to bed, but I just wanted to say one more thing that we were talking in the chat about whether this being like the same old defense as last year, but man, there's so many things about it that look different and so much more intensity. And I would say that last year we would not have won this game. The D would not have been able to hold them. We would have lost this. And I am so excited to see Green Bay pull it off. It's been great.
Yeah, love it. Hey, the takeaways are the big difference this year. You cannot deny that. Totally different. Xavier McKinney getting his 5th interception. Unbelievable. But if you got to go, we appreciate you dropping.
Yeah, have a great Victory Monday, everybody.
Yes, ma'am. You too. Thank you. All right. So you guys are stuck with us now. The brains are out of here. All right. The brains of the operation is gone. Where's the Xavier McKinney interception, people? Do we not have that tracked? Unbelievable.
We got Tupac LaFleur at the podium.
Oh, do we really? Let's see what Coach LaFleur's got to say then, folks. There he is. Somebody act like you're Coach LaFleur right now. Talk.
Yeah, our guys, out there played great.
No block, no rock.
Wasn't happy at the end of the second when I had my interview there at half. And,
Shut up. Here's the real Coach LaFleur.
I think it's been really cool to see him blossom. I think the more confidence he's gotten, the better he's done. He's just a tough-minded dude, and it's been really cool to watch a guy and see the growth and development. I think John Dunn does a great job with those guys, but I think those guys within that tight end room all push each other.
How close is Love, you think, to full strength, and how close or far is he from the guy that we saw in the second half of last season?
Well, I mean, I think he's getting better. I think he's getting he looked like he was moving around pretty well today. And I think, it's never about one player. It's never about one person in this game. It takes all 11, and you need everybody around you to do their job so you can do your job at the highest possible level. So, I think there's some things that we can clean up, certainly, him specifically, but I was proud of just how he battles, man. He's the leader of the offense, and, I love his approach to the game and everything he's about.
Yeah, we asked Jordan Love about the interceptions. This was something you talked about early last season, empowering Jordan to be a playmaker while also making sure he's being as smart as he can be with the football. How do you walk that line with him, because you don't want to take away that playmaking attribute from him?
Yeah, that's a quarterback's number one job. He understands that, and he's conscious of it. And I think sometimes, just like a great example was that throw that he made to Jaden Reed, where we're not necessarily encouraging that one, but he also has a lot of faith and confidence in the guys around him. And, I think just to speak of that confidence, I mean, that last play call where we tried to run a double move on the outside to Wicks, and, he just has the belief that his guys are going to go make the play for him.
Coach, the league in takeaways, and that's about as good a stat as you want pretty much at the end of the year. How does that fit into the overall scheme of things and praising the D?
Yeah, that's everything. I mean, the ball is everything, and we talk about it each and every week. And then every week there's great examples around the league. Everybody, if you win the ball, you got a great chance at winning the game. And unfortunately, week one, we won the ball and still didn't win the game, but it does give you a much better chance to come out on top.
Around that are like Xavier in terms of just going after the football.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx it, Rob. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. I mean, the guy just has a knack for the football, and he's got great ball skills. He's very instinctive and smart to allow him to anticipate to make plays, and then he generally makes the play. And I know, I'm sure there was one play in the second half that he'd like to have back because he might have had another one right there. But certainly, I think he's been obviously a very key pickup, for us in free agency.
Yeah, how did the Giants let him go like that?
All right, so there was Matt LaFleur at the podium. Yeah, man, listen, there's a lot to cover there. First of all, I love AFAM talking about he only smokes because it looks cool. And then Boz says AFAM smokes Virginia Slims.
Oh, we're going to give him some.
Exactly. So that was Coach LaFleur at the podium, and he covered a lot of stuff there. Let's go to the chat real quick. We got a bunch of these marked in here. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. If you could hit that like button, feel free to sub to the channel. Appreciate y'all making us part of your post-game festivities here as the Packers get a huge win out in LA, 24-19 over the Rams. All right, Prince in the chat said, feeling good about Cooper and Williams today. Rookies getting valuable experience. Completely agree, man. Evan Williams looks like he belongs. Listen, I've been a huge Javon Bullard fan. I think he's going to be a great pro too. I'm to the point where I kind of want to see Evan Williams split reps with him and get him out there on the field a little bit more because, Tim, is it just me or does Evan Williams look like he belongs, man?
Oh, my gosh, yes. We were excited about him at camp, right, because we saw him flashing. And, he had a couple of shaky plays today. I mean, nobody was perfect out there. You're not really going to be unless your name's Xavier McKinney. But Williams looks great, man. And I like him in the open field, too. I don't feel as unconfident as I used to be with our secondary in these open field tackles. Williams has the ability to wrap guys up and stop momentum, and then we've got guys rallying to the ball anyway. But, yeah, Evan Williams looks like the real deal. We had talked about that during the draft show, that we thought that was probably one of our favorite picks from Goody this year, and he's showing up and showing out. This is great news for that safety room for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Eric Sutherland, I'm with Romeo. This game plan was crap. I'll be no call, no showing for work tomorrow, says Eric Sutherland.
Uncle Eric checking in. I love it.
Yeah. LL goes on to say, Romeo would have been clutch. I will say this. I'm not one to listen, I'm not going to sit here and be negative after a win, just not going to do it, right? If that's how you want to fan, it's totally cool. But I can't BS y'all. The ball that went through Wicks's hands that the defender slightly hit him in the air, I'm thinking Romeo catches that football. There's no doubt in my mind. Yep. Romeo catches that ball. That is Romeo's play right there. And I thought Wicks played okay without, not knowing exactly what the box score says. I may look at it and completely disagree here in a second. We're definitely going to talk about Tucker Kraft. But, I mean, as far as the game plan and us obviously missing Romeo, I think we did miss him a little bit in certain spots. But this right here, Wicks blocking two guys on Kraft's first touchdown was absolutely awesome to see. I know Emilio was probably fired up over that. And we seen it last week too with Tucker Kraft's touchdown, didn't we, Tim? It was Wicks down there throwing that block, and then Kraft said, I'm just going to bull through everybody right into the end zone.
Yeah, and nobody's going to give him credit for that, right? That's why they call it the dirty work. Nobody pats you on the back for it, but it has huge impacts on the game. We've heard it before from our coach.
No block, no rock.
Thank you. I was going to pull it up, Tim, if you didn't, because that's the truth, right? You get a rep, you get a pass because you're helping downfield. He did it again on a couple of sweeps outside. You got to wash in the edge. Did you see Rasheed Walker threw down a corner? I mean, just threw him to the ground like it was nothing on one block, 10 yards downfield. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
So there's more to being a receiver in the NFL than catching the football. I mean, I know everybody sees when you drop one or when you make a great catch, but nobody's really seeing you running those decoy routes and blocking in the run game and the pass game. So we can't write Tay Wicks off, man. You just can't.
Yeah, no doubt. And I thought this was really cool. Next Gen Stats tweet this out. Tucker Kraft reached a top speed of 19.7 miles per hour on his 66-yard touchdown reception, the fastest speed by a tight end on a touchdown this season.
Here's the guy.
Kraft now leads all tight ends in yards after the catch with 122. And Yak, I didn't get the rest of the tweet. I apologize. Some really cool Yak stats too there. But I had to throw the snowplow up. I'm officially going to start calling him Trucker Kraft. That's just me, though.
Yep.
But
I could have swore, like I said, Matt called him Truck at one point in an or in like the interviews or whatever. But I'm not 100%. If you want to see just the off the bat numbers from PFF right now, the highest graded player on our offense was actually Rasheed Walker.
Oh,
here's the guy.
This is still preliminary, but 81.8. Josh Jacobs second at 74.1, and then Tucker 69. But again, these are all early numbers.
Right. That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome.
They probably didn't love Jordan's pick six on the from the end zone there, so that's fair.
Tucker Kraft, though, man, 5 targets, 4 catches, 88 yards, 2 touchdowns. If you were watching the pregame show, Tim, what did we say? Jaden Reed, Tucker Kraft, both those guys primed for a big game based off of the analytics, things we looked at throughout the week suggested Tucker Kraft was going to have a big game. If you had him starting on your fantasy team today, you probably came out pretty good. Like I said, 4 catches, 88 yards, 2 touchdowns with that long as 66. Jaden Reed, damn good day too. 6 targets, 4 catches, 78 yards. Just what about that catch in triple coverage?
Oh my gosh. I can't wait for Talk, Clayton. I can't wait.
Wow.
I cannot wait.
I can't wait to see the probability of that catch, Emilio.
Oh, it's got to be well under 10%. Probably.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would think it's going to be at least top 5. I would say probably top one of the week. So
interception probability 97%.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Wow.
But that's what I texted you guys. I said wow to that, and then 5 minutes later, I just resent wow again after Jordan Love's pick 6. I was like, this is brutal.
I just checked to see if they had it listed. They don't have it listed yet. So unless they tweeted it out, of course, if anybody has seen Next Gen Stats tweet the probability of that catch out, let us know ASAP.
Is that it right there, Ron? Or are you just making up numbers?
Yeah, I would imagine it's probably lower than that. Wouldn't you think? I mean, that was it. It was probably technically double coverage because there was a guy trailing him pretty far.
Yeah.
But I mean, Love basically said, "Screw it, Levin's down there somewhere. Let's just."
watching the slow mo and everything. The dude jumped up on his helmet and then honestly had his hand over his visor, and Reed had just like hit his fingertips and was like, "All right, that's mine. I'm gonna just pull this one in right now."
That was easily the best, most impressive catch of his career so far, I think.
Oh, no doubt in my mind. Badger Trio with the super chat. Thank you so much, buddy. He said, "Is it rust or does Love take a bit to understand the defense?" There's definitely something to his game, and I want to get your all's take on this because I was kind of thinking something in a similar vein earlier. Like, it's like when he gets hot, he can't miss, but before he gets hot, couldn't hit a bull in the ass with a mop. Like he was missing those out routes, throwing them low. It's just like, and then all of a sudden, he's off platform, fading away, putting them right on the dime. I mean, even that one in the triple coverage, he dropped that thing down the chimney chute to Jaden Reed. Absolutely. I'm with you, Tim. I can't wait for Chalk Talk. It's going to be a blast.
It's going to be a monster.
But what do you guys think about it? Is it just rust or does Love take a bit to understand the defense? What do you guys think it is with Jordan?
I mean, I think it looked like the Rams were kind of mixing it up a little bit, kind of like what we saw last week with the Vikings, and we saw a little bit of struggles, obviously, early in that game. I don't know. Maybe it is a little bit of rust because I feel like Jordan was seeing it pretty well. He had a couple of cans that were perfect today. He checked out of a pass, and it ended up being like a 8 to 10 yard chunk run for Josh Jacobs.
Yep.
There was one we were clearly set up to go left, and you saw Jordan at the line kind of tap our center on the right butt cheek and change that play. We're going right now.
Yeah.
So I feel like Jordan diagnosed his defenses pretty well. I guess the rust part might be that it's a little inconsistent right now as he's kind of getting back to full game speed. But I think by next weekend, man, we're really going to see 100% Jordan Love for sure.
Yeah, I'm hoping it, and I'm also looking at it as like broad picture too, I guess, in that sense of all right, per game. Yeah, maybe it's a little slow in the beginning and gets going. Maybe that's the beginning of the season, and then we'll look at it a little bit, later on, further down the road, and see him heating up at the right time. I think that's the biggest thing. Like he doesn't need to be MVP right this second. We don't need 500 yards passing and 8 touchdowns every game. But I like that we're building to something. Kept his cool. And, got the W.
Definitely. And Badger Trio, thank you so much for the super chat, pal. We appreciate you. Here was QB1. This was via NFL's Twitter account. And our good buddy Rob Westerman over at Green Bay Packers Daily tweeted this out. Here was Love walking off the field.
Hey, thank you to all the Packer fans who made the trip out here to SoFi. We got the dub for you guys. Go Pack, go.
So obviously, it felt like a home game. I don't know about you guys, but it was loud.
Rocking.
Yeah. We get to experience that firsthand down in Nashville.
Yeah.
We?
And it almost seemed more there, even Clayton, honestly. When that penalty got called and it was against the Rams for the Packers, that place erupted.
Yeah, definitely. Chris C in the chat says, what a great game, lads. Great fans here. I can't express enough. Much fun everyone had here. Lots of green and gold in the crowd. I lost my voice. LOL.
Awesome.
So obviously he was there. Good stuff, man. Appreciate you swinging through. Let's see here. Ron Samble asked, what were Josh Jacobs' stats? I'm glad you asked. I was eager to see this too. So he finished the day with 19 carries for 73 yards and a touchdown, had a long of 13. I felt like he ran the ball better than that, but there were a couple times of play call, a little outside run where he got bottled up and lost some yardage. But overall, I thought Josh Jacobs looked really good. He also had a catch for 21 yards, which is absolutely huge. Obviously, that's an explosive. And I do have some of the key numbers here that we'll hit on, and we'll finish off with the box score as well. But first half, all right, here's the key statistics in the first half. The LA Rams won the middle 8 in the first half. So the last 4 minutes of the first half, the Rams outscored us 6-3. They won the turnover differential in the first half, 1-0. And they had 4 first down we have 4 first down incompletions that put us behind schedule. Those are kind of the key notes in the first half. That's how you fall behind quick. That's where you get yourself in trouble, right? Explosives were a push. You got to wait for the shark there. The explosives were a push at 2-2. All right. So in the first half of the 3 most important statistics, in my opinion, they controlled 3 of the 4, right? With middle 8, turnover differential. 2 of the top 3. Middle 8, turnover differential, and then of course the explosives were the push. Second half, middle 8, Green Bay won 7-0, meaning the first 4 minutes of the second half we won that 7-0. Turnover differential, we won that 2-0. By the way, Xavier McKinney, didn't he recover the fumble?
Yep.
He recovered the fumble.
I thought he was going to take it. He looked like he saw a lane there for a second.
Yeah, and so we won the turnover differential 2-0 there in the second half. And explosives, Green Bay won 5-1 on explosive plays. So when you combine all of that, and again, first down passing toward the end of I think it was the final drive for the Packers, first down incompletion after they picked up the first down on the ground with Josh Jacobs. We've got to get out of that. Got to get away from that, right? But complete game, here are the key statistics. Middle 8, Green Bay won 10-6. Turnover differential, Green Bay won 2-1. Explosive plays, Green Bay won 7-3. That's how you win a ball game. I love it, and not everything went perfect. Obviously, we could go on for hours talking about the things that did go wrong, but pretty freaking cool that the Packers pull out this dub on the road, even with some stuff. You throw a pick 6 and you still end up winning the game. Like, how rare is that?
Seriously,
I mean, when you give Matt Stafford and the Rams, 3 minutes with the ball at the end of the game after, that was what was frustrating to me. I want to see our boys bury a team on those final drives like that, where we're not biting our nails down the stretch and, having to really rely on that huge defensive stand there at the end. It put a lot of pressure on our defense. It really did. But hey, a win's a win. We'll take it.
No doubt. And I want to say this, and I don't mean to be a jerk, But you notice there's no fans, and you're going, we took our foot off the pedal. We took our foot off the pedal. We almost lost this game because we had our foot on the pedal on first down, throwing every first down like that.
Yes.
That's the perfect example. If you take half of those plays, and I counted at least 5 situations, 4 in the first half, at least 1 in the second half, maybe multiple in the second half. I haven't charted the whole second half. If you took half of those plays, let's say 3 of those 5, and you ran the ball on first down instead of putting yourself behind schedule on first down, I'm telling you, you probably win this game by a couple scores. There's no doubt in my mind. So.
Yeah, and we didn't even break 150 yards rushing. I mean, we're averaging 175 a game, and the Rams are giving up like 170 a game. We should have at least broke 150, I think.
Yeah, definitely. So
he got away from it too quick, I thought, Matt. You know, he didn't.
For sure.
Yeah.
Put your team into calling naked boots in the end zone with no run game and wondering why we got Jay Love scrambling for his life back there.
Right.
Like
exactly.
Adam Block in the chat said, I think they're an underrated team this year. Let's see. Tuck Norris owns LA is what R.E. Iron Miner says. Completely agree. Stacy Mitchell, yes, was so proud of Tucker Kraft. Obviously had a huge game. Coach Lynn in the chat said that game just saved our season. Think about it.
Preach, Coach. Preach.
If you drop that game, boys, it's an uphill battle.
That was a need to win.
Yes.
That was big. That would have been brutal because you know how banged up the Rams were. You know, we can't look down on an opponent or anything like that, but we needed that win bad.
And you know what? Everything started to click for us when we started running the damn ball on first down. You can literally see the change in the momentum when we started committing to the run. And like I always preach, we don't need 500 yards of rushing. We don't need, Josh Jacobs to, have a bunch of 150-yard performances. We just need to effectively run the ball so that defense stays honest. And that's kind of what happened. We didn't see the Rams, all out blitzing a lot. We saw the pre-snap sugar kind of go away a little bit. They were kind of staying in cover 2 shell, and things started to go our way. And lo and behold, it opened up shots in the passing game.
Yeah, no doubt, man. God, it was such a fun game, dude.
And it was an NFC opponent. We needed that against, an NFC rival like the Badger Trio said. Vikings 5-0, couldn't afford it. With the Lions off this week.
Yep.
So true.
We got Panero 718 in the chat said NFC standings look tighter than an airplane bathroom, man. There you go. I don't know if he's saying an airplane bathroom man, like there's a man that stands in the bathroom, or if he's
just saying like man.
Yeah.
Like
moving around in there.
If I ever walk into an airplane bathroom and there's a man in there, I'm probably just going to go back to the seat and hit a bottle. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to happen there. So Elder Grimm said X broke my heart dropping that second pick. I didn't even realize he dropped the second pick. When did he jump?
It went right through his hands.
Yeah, it was like an overthrow. So like a deep crosser, like tornado route or whatever, and dude jumped for it. X honestly probably could have stayed on the ground and it could have just dropped right in his breadbasket. But
it looked like he jumped up and then it kind of almost hit him in the face.
He was high pointing it. I like that, but I think he'll be hitting himself. But
listen to how spoiled we are. The guy's got a pick per game, and we're like, why didn't he get 2?
And a fumble recovery plus return yards.
Yeah, dude is a turnover machine, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. All right, so let's run through some more of the stats here. Emmanuel Wilson, 6 carries for 24 yards, not bad, average 4 yards a carry. Jaden Reed had a couple carries, 2 for 19. So his all-purpose yards ended up being, really close, wasn't it? Really close to 100 yards. So good game for Bird. And obviously Jordan Love got 3 carries for 10 yards. He had that 10-yard scamper for the first down. I think earlier I said 13 yards. It was actually 10 yards. So
needed that. That was, like Tim said, what was that? The first one, right, Tim? That was our first third down we converted. That is brutal. I was happy with the red zone performance finally, but it's situational football. We cannot be 0 for on third down through 2 or 3 quarters.
Can't do it.
That can't happen.
Yep.
Yeah, can't do it. Let's see. So, like I said, Josh Jacobs had 1 catch for 21 yards. Tucker Kraft led the way, 4 catches for 88. Jaden Reed, 4 for 78. Jacobs, 1 for 21. Dontavion Wicks, rough day catching the football again. 7 targets, only 2 catches for 20 yards. Again, mentioned in the blocking. definitely played a role there on the Tucker Kraft touchdown and other scenarios too. Malik Heath, 3 targets, 2 catches for 14 yards. Bo Melton had 1 catch for 12 yards as I swat away a pterodactyl over here.
Uh-huh.
But Emmanuel Wilson, 1 catch for -9 yards. That's going to hurt the old I'm telling you, this dude's kamikaze me over here. I'm about to give him the old ninja chop.
Here's the guy.
The old Judy chop.
Tay Wicks' blocking number on PFF, early numbers, 81-4. Okay. I like that. Just for run blocking. I like that.
Got us a goon. We got us a goon. On defense, look at this, boys. Evan Williams, 10 tackles, led the team with 10. He must have had a bunch of snaps. Quay Walker with 9 had 1 tackle for a loss. Isaiah McDuffie, 9 tackles. Javon Bullard, 8 tackles. Eric Stokes, 7 tackles. You know what this is telling me? The fact that Javon Bullard and Evan Williams are toward the top, we must have played some 3 safety sets today.
No, I'm telling you, they played Bull in the slot all day long. He was playing in the slot because Evan was playing free. X was over there at strong or whatever. And then they had Bull in the slot because Keyshawn and Valentine or Stokes or Valentine was on the other side. So that's how they were running it.
So when Ja comes back, and I felt like Keyshawn played pretty good. Am I the only one that felt like he played pretty good today, or did you guys?
And I saw him not correcting him, but telling Bullard when the Rams were on the 4-yard line trying to score, he went up to him, tapped his right hip, hey, give me just a little, give me another yard of space so that when this crosser comes, we're good. They talked real fast about what they're going to do, and bam. So mentally he was there. He performed well, but looking at the numbers, X played 78 total snaps. Evan Williams played 78 total snaps, and Quay played 78 total snaps. So those 3 were on the field for every defensive play. Then they rotated, I think, Bullard in underneath and Keyshawn and everybody like that.
Yep. I think Keyshawn played well today. I do.
Yep.
Compton's own, back at home, he had family and friends out to watch the game. That gives you a little extra boost for a lot of these players. They want to play well in front of their home fans and friends and stuff like that. So I think, he looked okay. Even on the boundary, which we know is not a strong suit for him. I don't think we had too many plays where he was getting lit up over there.
Exactly. And let me correct that. I'm sorry. Also, Keyshawn Nixon played 78 plays. So you're right, Tim. He played great for every single snap on that defense. So 4 of our dudes did not come off the field.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So we're rotating. We're rotating 7 from there. And just this defense eats. I love it.
You could see the change down the stretch, right? Because those guys were on the field all day. And when it looked like, man, we're going to get gassed and let, Stafford run down the field on us, just when we needed, man, we were able to hold strong and shut them down and get out of there with a dub.
Yeah, no doubt. I was going to take a peek here and see if we had any of the
I got you numbers for total snaps for Cooper, 30. TJ
we called it, Tim.
Yep.
We called it.
Let's go.
TJ Slayton had 27. LVN had 42. Eric Wilson, only 3 snaps for Eric Wilson.
Yeah, hello, Edrin Cooper.
Yep.
Edrin Cooper on the rise.
Let's see. Corey Valentine, only 2. Kenny had 51. Preston had 39. Carrington had 41. Rashawn had 49. Colby Wooden, I told you we hadn't seen him all year. My man. He didn't play great, obviously, but I saw him get in the backfield. I saw him get in the backfield the one play. I was like, Wooden, I thought you had it. It was like a 3rd down and 1 or something.
Oh, on that, when he got in and he just tried to arm tackle him and gave up the 1st down. Yeah,
a double take. Who's 90? Wooden, my man.
Yeah.
Hey, Emilio, did you hit Evan Williams' snaps played?
Yeah, Evan Williams, Keyshawn, and Quay all had 78.
Evan Williams, 78 snap. I'm telling you,
we kept our safeties. That was our shell.
He may have just passed up Bullard on the safety depth chart. I don't know, and I understand what you're saying, Emilio, that they played them all kind of, for the most part. What Bull finished with 50-some snaps? Is that right?
Yeah, he finished with
So it'll be interesting to see what happens back there when Ja comes back next
57.
week, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Let's see. Average EPA per play. The Packers were 0.032 in the positive. The Rams were negative 0.086. All right. They actually had more total net yards than us. Just kind of looking through here. Red zone touchdowns. The Packers had 2. The Rams had 2. No red zone field goals. They had 14 red zone plays. We only had 6, though. So that's interesting. On 6 red zone plays, we got 2 tutters. That is awesome. That's what you were talking about a couple weeks ago, Emilio, no doubt.
Yep. Yeah, we needed that. But that was big.
All right, so there you go. Let's see what else we got here as far as the stats. Pick back up. So Keyshawn, 5 tackles, 1 for a loss. Edrin Cooper, 5 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for a loss. LVM, 5 tackles. Seen him on a couple run stuffs. Looked pretty decent to me. Preston Smith, 4 tackles. Xavier McKinney, 3 tackles. Had the interception, like you guys said, the dropped interception. So he's all around the ball constantly. We talked about on the pregame show how it's amazing how he went from playing cover 2 in a Tampa 2 and coming over to the seam and getting the interception. And then also earlier in the year, he was playing cover 1 and got all the way to the sideline to make an interception. And then another play, we were in a cover 3 spot drop, and he's playing the mid hook. He recognizes Aaron Jones kind of cornering it off, breaks off his route, gets that pick. And then, of course, you hear Tony Romo say the thing about Xavier McKinney is he can be in the middle of the field and get all the way to the sideline to pick the ball off. And I mean, been a long time since we've had a safety like that, fellas. I'm so excited about it, man. As far as sacks go, Preston Smith with a 1/2 sack. Carl Brooks, 1.5 sacks. Boys, the time has come. Carl Brooks has got an opportunity in front of him with Devontae Wyatt being out. And if anybody's going to miraculously heal, it's going to be Devontae Wyatt, because he's sitting there going, I am not losing my job for injury. I ain't going to do it. Yep. Carl Brooks is out there eating right now. 1.5 sacks and a tackle for a loss. I mean, it don't get any better than that, man. That is absolutely awesome. So, and as far as the team stats, if we go to those real quick, take a quick gander here. I wanted to see about penalties. You know, penalties have been a big issue. The Packers had 6 penalties for 34 yards. The Rams had 5 for 30. It should have been 33 for 175 with these Gary holds.
Yeah, real quick. The one that was the delay of game on the punt in the end zone. Okay, first off, Whelan is an athlete. Did you see that dude palm that thing and boot it? The next punt wasn't great, but did you? Matt was sitting there. How do you let that happen? How do we let a delay of game happen on our own 10 where we need to get that ball out and we were backed up? I didn't love that.
Right. And I know you got to run, Emilio. I appreciate you taking the time to hop on here with us, man. Go grab some dinner, dude.
Go Pack.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate y'all.
Emilio.
All right. So, like Prince says, Brooks, best game of the year, no doubt about it, man. Let's see him build off that, right? I'm excited to see what he can do moving forward there. Tim, is there anything else you want to hit on, man? Do you feel like we hit everything? I'm going to pull up a couple more highlights from Next Gen Stats real quick that I want to touch on briefly, but anything else you got?
No, I think we hit on everything. You know, you feel good and you feel great. You feel great that you got the win. You know, we're back on track. You feel good about the performance of our team today. Like you said, there was a lot of positives, but there's a lot of stuff to clean up. All 3 phases, really. You know, we can talk about you know, some miscues on special teams, like we just mentioned. We had a few plays on offense we'd like back. And, you know, again, this defense against the run didn't look very good. But we've also talked about that before, too. It's tough to, you know, to really be a complete defense. Most lean one way. You're either a really good pass defense or you're really good against the run. You know, those top, you know, 3 to 5 teams in the league do both well, it seems like. And I just think if the Packers can shore up that run D a little bit, where we're not giving up these huge chunk runs on, you know, early downs, I think we'll be all right. But no, I feel really good about this game, man. I can't wait to break it down more in depth here as we celebrate Victory Monday tomorrow and start prepping for our Chalk Talk segment.
Definitely. And I do want to say this. I completely overlooked it. Maybe you mentioned it while I was reading the chat, and I apologize if I didn't hear you, Tim, but Braden Arvison, 1 for 1 on field goals, had that 46-yarder. He was 3 for 3 on extra points as well. So Braden Arvison went today. Hit all those kicks. That's what I'm talking about, man. Daniel Whalen, I apologize. He's an absolute unit. I know it was a penalty that washed it away, but did you see that high snap? What is he, like 6'5"? I think he's 6'5".
Yeah.
Went up and
I
grabbed
thought he was
that
going
thing.
to hit his head on the crossbar on the goalpost. That was amazing.
Think about that for a long snapper, knowing that you got a guy that's got a wingspan like that, catching that snap. You you can breathe a little sigh of relief there, can't you? When you snap into a guy like that.
Absolutely. And like people, I'm glad you brought that up. It's like how quick we just kind of forget about that. Like that's a safety, guys. Like if that snap ends up, going through the uprights or something out of the back of the end zone, that was a huge play by our punter. But I think there are some issues there, and a lot of it has to do with discipline when it comes to the special teams unit, man. You can't have those delay of game situations, those kind of things. But when you got old Danny Boy back there bailing it out, it sure makes you feel good. And how funny. I'm glad you brought up our boy Braden Arvison, who kind of looks like your long lost twin brother there, Clayton. He kind of looks like he might be some of your kinfolk down there. But Braden looked good. Nobody wants to talk about it, but boy, let him, shank one, and it's national news for the whole week. So I think it's important we give our kicker a little bit of props here, and he did good today for sure.
No doubt about it, man. So here is the Tucker Kraft touchdown, just to kind of break it down. And we're going to cover all this on Chalk Talk. I guarantee you this one makes the list. I promise you. So this is a pretty cool set. They went with 11 dub nasty. All right. And the way they set it up was they kind of had Jaden Reed, who in this situation is actually playing Z with the motion on. LaFleur may refer to him as the F here, but they do a little orbit motion here, Tim. You see he goes around Jordan, little fake handoff to him. See the backers. Look at that hesitation. Watch 51 and 56 right here, Tim. Watch these two guys right here as this orbit play fake. See how they bite? Now it's off to the races. Who's covering Tucker Kraft, man? He's butt naked through the trailer park. Look at that. Absolutely awesome. Hits Tucker Kraft in stride. The big stiff arm there. And look at Tay Wicks. Look, he blocked him so far. We got to scroll up the field, Tim.
Yep.
Look at this. Look at Tay Wicks. He picks him up at the 30-yard line and walks him, 10 yards?
To the 15 at least.
Yeah. And then Tucker just 19 miles an hour.
Tucker, man, he saw a Busch Latte and a pack of Bar Breads in that end zone, and he was off to the races, man. That was amazing. Because I thought for sure once he caught it and turned upfield, like, oh, okay, go to the boundary. We'll take the first down. This is a great play. And then you see Wicks with the block, and you see Tuck get the wheels turned, and you're like, oh, man, he might score on this one. Yeah. I mean, it was fun to watch that for sure.
And then the Tucker Kraft second touchdown on the tight end screen. This was a sweet play. So they came out in an 11 gun, strong left. All right. And I think you would call this Z nasty. So you can see Tay Wicks is inside the numbers. And they do a little cheat motion with Josh Jacobs here. What's Josh Jacobs? And what did they do with Tucker? There's a little bit of, look at this. They did all kinds of motions. So Tucker goes out here and sets up first, right? And before they come set, that gives you a little spy on what the defense is doing too. So now he comes inside. You see 4 roll back in, 55 crosses over to try to meet their run gap lanes. Now watch Josh Jacobs going to get a little cheat motion here, and that's just enough. Watch the cheat. That information, I guarantee you, Jordan Love is watching 37, and what that tells him is man coverage. See 37 following?
Yep.
Bang. Now you know you got man setting up the tight end screen, and you got a hat on a hat right here. Look at this. Tucker just – it's funny, man. The blocking was set up to take it outside. Tucker gets back in on the sidewalk, says, I'll just run through all these cats. Screw it. Touchdown. Absolutely love to see it, man. Tucker Kraft's superstar in the making. We've been talking about it. PFF has not graded him high. And I've been kind of listening to former players. Brian Bulaga talks about Tucker Kraft being a dog. Former tight end, all-pro tight end, Mark Chimura, Super Bowl champion tight end, Mark Chimura, same thing. Tucker Kraft's a dog. That's what he keeps saying. Now you look at PFF grades, you think, okay, he's not that good. But, man, I'm telling you, you turn on the tape, it's all over the place. Tucker Kraft's a superstar in the making, man. No doubt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I do have one other thing before we get out of here, if I can. We saw Carrington Valentine make his return today, and I thought he played okay in the grand scheme of things. It was really tough to see him pick up that PI there towards the end of the game there in the fourth quarter, which allowed the Rams, basically a new set of downs, and then they end up getting the touchdown. But I think there's something to be said about the fact that on the 2-point conversion that would have made it a 1-score game, it was Carrington Valentine instantly redeeming himself by making that tackle there and keeping the Rams from converting. That
That's
4-point
huge.
lead was clutch because it forced them to only play for a touchdown the rest of the game. We might have been having a whole different conversation right now if CV doesn't come up and make that play. So shout out to 24 out there, man, redeeming himself right away. You love to see it. That's that same mentality I'm talking about with Jordan Love, right? You make a mistake, a huge mistake, and hey, you get over it, you shake it off, and you go make a play. That's how you have to have that type of mindset in order to find any success in the NFL. And it's good to see that with a lot of our guys, especially the younger players.
No doubt about it, man. And again, I've got that on the list here with Carrington Valentine because they went down and that was a long, sustained drive. There was no explosives, but the Rams just went right down the field. And you could tell Hafley was playing it like you can score. We'll let you score, but you're going to have to use up every second on that clock, right? And then he gets down there, they score, they go for 2, and Carrington putting his hat in there, man, and making a play was just absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. Tim, we're supposed to do a giveaway, and I'm not prepared. Do you think
what?
Do you think you could hit some of the chats for me while I try to get this together, man? I'm completely dropped the ball on this. I got to honor it, though. We got to do this. We talked about it all week.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get it in. Let's go to the chat here. Eldegrim, we better not sleep on the Cardinals next week. They did just take down the Niners. That's so true. Didn't get to see much of that game. I'm sure I'll check out some of the tape on that as we start to prep for Cardinals week. But that's a great point. This is what I talk about when, we see records. Every time you look at a score, the scoreboard in the league, or you see the tickers, a lot of times you'll see the record right next to the team's names. At this point of the season, the record doesn't really, I'm going to be honest with you, like it doesn't mean much to me at this point. I don't think it defines you as a team. I think the Packers are better than our record indicates, obviously. Maybe teams like, the Vikings are not as good as their 5-0 record right now. Who knows? Time will tell. It's still early in the season, but I'm with Eldegrim here in the chat. I don't know what you think, Clayton. The Cardinals aren't a team we should be intimidated by, but we can't afford to sleep on them coming back here to Lambeau. And, we got to continue to try and protect 1265. We can't continue to lose home games. So I'm with Eldegrim on this one for sure.
No, I completely agree, man. And here's the thing. Any given Sunday, it sounds so boring. It's cliche. I got you. But it's so true. Like, I remember people writing the Cardinals off early in the season here. And I know we're only in week 5, but it only takes a split second, man, 1 or 2 games to get right. And all of a sudden, man, a team can get hot. I mean, look at the Bears right now. We love to make fun of the Bears, but listen, I'm not going to give the Bear fans respect, but I will respect that team because they're playing good football right now. It sucks to say that, right? But that is the reality of the situation. Like, the Bears are playing really good defense, and Caleb Williams has gotten better every week. There's no two ways about that. But yeah, you can't overlook the Cardinals, no doubt, Tim.
For sure. We got Randy Cleavers in the chat saying Arizona runs the ball. Could be trouble. We just talked about this with the run defense not being a strong suit, but it also depends on game plan, right? I mean, I thought we looked pretty doggone good against the run in that Colts game. And, maybe we can see more of that going up against the Cardinals here because you got to account for that, not just the running backs and stuff or the motion, but, you got the Kyler Murray factor. That guy will wiggle out of the pocket and take off on you very easily. So, I don't know what you think, Clayton. I think the Packers may tweak that defensive game plan a bit, accounting for a team that might be a little more run heavy. Because certainly today we weren't ready for the Rams to come out and run the ball down our throat all day, and that's exactly how they started this game. So we'll see what happens.
I completely agree, man. Like I said, I think the Cardinals, with the run game and you got Murray. I know people don't want to hear this, but it's going to happen. You got to get back to, okay, this is a guy who can hurt you with his legs. So you can't just really pin your ears back and go. You can't do that. You can't afford to do that, to give up extra explosive plays. Again, that's the key. The key to winning some of these games is controlling those explosives and hitting on the explosives, which the Packers have done really well on offense this year, obviously. So yeah, I'm with you on that. The Cardinals got to be aware of their running game, no doubt.
For sure. We've got who else we got in the chat?
Just about got it ready. You get one more comment, we'll be good to go, man. I apologize.
Waiting to see what we got here. Eldegrim in the chat again. This is kind of interesting. Anyone know why the Dallas-Pittsburgh game show's delayed? Something going on.
It says weather delay right now is what it says.
Is it a weather delay? They're in Pittsburgh, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Correct. So
Sounds
there you go.
good.
All right, man. I think we about got this thing ready to go, Tim. We've got a bunch of people entered into this, and 172 in this giveaway here. And again, guys, what we're giving away, it was donated by Trevor, one of our loyal listeners, great dude. He had went and actually went to an autograph session with Mark Murphy. Okay,
this guy,
65%.
65%. That's what
that guy was there.
That is the guy. So he ends up getting an autographed picture of Mark Murphy. I'm trying to get this to zoom in, but man, it's really struggling. They're gonna try to sell me some bread from Publix too. Check this out. That's what I'm talking about. So he goes and gets a couple autographs from Mark Murphy, and he actually gets Mark Murphy to sign the picture 65%, which is just absolutely awesome. So that's what we're giving away today. It's an autographed picture, autographed by Mark Murphy, and he put on the picture 65%. We're going to spin the Larry McCarron pinky wheel here and give this away. Again, we got 172 entries. If you guys want to get your name on this wheel in the future, the way it works, if you're a member of the PTA Posse, whether it's as a YouTube member or in our Patreon group, there's a lot of other perks to being in the Patreon group. That's really cool. As far as a community, messaging platform, like a chat in there where we talk about the Chalk Talk segments, questions for the show. You get your questions right over the air, all that good stuff. Scan the QR code in the upper right. That'll send you to Packer Fan Total Access on Patreon, or just go to patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access, or just search for Packer Fan Total Access on Patreon. That'll get you there too. You ready to spin this wheel, Tim?
Let's go. Let's get that pinky wheel spinning.
All right, here we go. What we're going to do, guys, since there's a lot of entries that have been gifted memberships, okay, sometimes it's hard to get in touch with people that might have just swung through. They may be in here watching right now. If somebody gifted 5 memberships, it'll randomly pick them. So we spin this thing 3 times, and we're going to give it away in the order in which that lands on the names, okay? So whoever the pinky, or not the pinky, but the arrow lands on first, that'll be the first place winner. And then the second place and the third place, and we'll start with the first place. If we can't get in touch with them, we'll give it to the second, and then move on to the third if we can't find them. Here we go. Let's spin it. The winner of the autographed Mark Murphy picture, 65%, is
Big money, no whammy. Big money, no whammy. Who is it? Chewy!
Chewy wins it. Oh, Lord, Chewy. All right. In case we can't get a hold of Chewy, which we know we will, Chewy is always in here. Always in here. Let's hit it again. Elder Grimm says, that's me. Watch it land on Elder Grimm. That'd be hilarious. Roger Davis is the second place winner. All right, and let's do it one more time. And who knows, maybe Chewy will want to give it to someone else too. So that's why we're going to spin this thing multiple times. Third place winner. Third place winner is, what do we got here?
John Schmidt.
All right, John. You know, it feels like John Schmidt has been second or third place like several times. God love him. He's like, man, always a bridesmaid, never a bride. So,
I was just gonna say, where's Eric Sutherland? I didn't see a rigged comment yet, and then of course here it is, right on time.
He gave up. Chewy's in the house. Chewy, you won it, bro. You won the autograph Mark Murphy. Respect Orange just says he'll pick it up. He says rigged.
Here's the guy.
So there you go. Appreciate everybody seriously supporting the channel. It's just a way for us to give back, and it's awesome that we got literally listeners of the show donating really cool memorabilia. Mr. Larry has donated a bunch of stuff.
Yep.
Obviously, it's funny. Chewy has offered to donate things as well. We've got autograph cards and things. I mean, it's just a really cool community. So United Baits donated 2 copies of Take Your Eye Off the Ball 2.0 by Pat Kerwin, which we already got those mailed out. So there you go. Congratulations, Chewy. So Chewy, you won. You already won something too. That's wild, man. That's wild. And that was when the list was much smaller too, much smaller. So yeah, good stuff, man. But that's it, guys. Appreciate everybody. So it's, what does it say? Respect more. So it's 65% of an autograph. I see what you did there, sir. I see what you did. So Tim, anything else, buddy, before we get out of here?
No, congrats to Chewy for sure. That's awesome. And shout out to everybody in the Patreon, all the members, everybody in the posse. We love it. Yeah, and shout out to Bates too. Bates is always giving away memberships, stuff like that too. We see that a lot. It's really good football community that we're building over here, and we just appreciate everybody being a part of this. This is exactly what I think you set out to build from the beginning, Clayton. It's growing every single season, man, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, didn't expect it to grow this fast, but man, it's been really cool just to create an environment where people can come talk about the Packers, and do it in a respectful manner. There's not going to be anybody toxic other than Eric Sutherland. He's godfathered in there, grandfathered in, whatever you want to say. If anybody gets in the chat and they're being inappropriate or being rude because someone don't know something or someone disagrees with them, we're just going to run their ass off. That's the way that works here. So
Sit your butt outside.
exactly. It's important to protect that culture that we're creating, no doubt about it, man. And look at that, right on cue, Elder Grimm gifted 5 Packer fan total access memberships. So appreciate you, Elder Grimm. You're the man, dude. You're the man. But all right, that's it, guys. We're out of here. We'll be back tomorrow for PTA Live. I'm going to get started charting Chalk Talk. That way, when the tape is available, we'll get that geared up. But tomorrow will be PFF Day. We'll go through the PFF grades, hit on anything else as far as injuries that may or may not have happened that we didn't know about during the game. And then we'll kind of get all the recap out of the way first half of the week. And then as we get into the second half of the week, we'll do like we always do. We'll start to dive into. You said we had the Cardinals next, right, Tim? Is that correct?
Yep, Arizona Cardinals.
And that's going to be a 12 noon kickoff at Lambeau Field.
A nooner.
And October in Lambeau. Let's go, dude. It don't get any better than that. So,
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Shout out to my step pops, too. I just found out I've got a ticket to the Detroit Lions game coming up in November. So I will be back screaming at Lions fans at 12:65, just like last year. So go, Pack, go. It's awesome.
3:25 kickoff, Tim. The shadows will be much longer. The game will start with that beautiful sunset, right? Going to be a little crisp in the air. By the time the game's over, they got the lights on. It don't get any better.
Man, it's going to be a big game, too. Divisional game going into a bye week. Got the little – does that got the little star next to it? Or they're not going to flex us on that one, are they? I can't see on the screen. Okay, good.
I don't think they can flex. Well, maybe the schedule doesn't show. I don't want to give you false hope here, Tim. Maybe they can flex. We'll talk about that tomorrow. How about that?
For sure, for sure.
All right. Appreciate everybody. Thank you all so much. Special shout out to Elder Grimm for the super chat, Andrew Petro for the super chat, Badger Trio with the super chat, and, of course, Elder Grimm gifting 5 memberships here for the Packers Total Access posse, the PTA posse here on YouTube. So really, really appreciate everybody. Thanks for making this another great dub for the Green Bay Packers as they get a huge win out in Los Angeles on the road, 24-19 over Sean McVay and the Rams. Help me out here, Tim.
For those of you listening on the pod,
thank you for making us a part of your day. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world, and go Pack, go.